Hello there. Here I review movies and television shows, and today I want to talk about Jackpot. It's a new action comedy from Amazon about a Californian lottery where you get 24 hours to kill the winner and claim their prize. The only rule is that no guns are allowed. The story focuses on Katie Kim, a young woman returning to LA to chase her dream of being an actress. After winning the lottery, she finds herself running for her life from everyone in town. Noel, a mysterious bodyguard, appears in the middle of her first fight and saves her. Afterward, he offers to protect her for the rest of the day in exchange for 10%. With a new partner and a promise of $3.6 billion, Katie prepares to take on the entire city of LA. Rob Yescombe wrote the story and Paul Feig directed the film, which stars Awkwafina as Katie, John Cena as Noel, and Simu Liu as Lewis. Okay, to begin I want to say a few kind words about this film. The premise is actually an interesting play on those Purge movies, and I was excited to see what they did with it. To the director's credit, there are a few fun action comedy scenes of John Cena and Awkwafina trying to escape a horde of people and fighting them off with everything in sight, Jackie Chan style. Their action isn't nearly as good as his, but there are some hilarious moments, like Cena tied to a chair singing the Ninja Turtles theme song and beating people up. Cena does a fantastic job of the action comedy, and Awkwafina does decently too. She does a bit of pretend foo, which she plays in an awkward manner, creating some truly hilarious slapstick moments, like her apologizing to her brutalized victims, or whacking herself with her weapons. They also started the movie with a great intro to the premise which hooked me in quickly. It's high octane, filled with good action comedy moments, and it shows that anyone and everyone is involved. It also teaches the audience to keep their guard up around new characters. From the cast, you really only have 3 performances. Awkwafina as Katie, John Cena as Noel, and Simu Liu as Lewis. John Cena plays his usual comedy action hero type character and is charismatic as always. He pulls off a ton of good humor throughout the film, says some ridiculous lines with a straight face, and does a good job of the one emotional moment they give him. Simu Liu does his best to play the standoffish villain in a somewhat charming way, but he struggles to make sense of the character. Awkwafina is her usual awkward self. She pulls off a few good lines here and there, tries her best with the emotional moments, but ultimately presents a boring lead. I'm not entirely sure that's her fault, though. The writing is pretty awful. The visual journey is presented well enough, but looks kind of basic. They did a couple of fight scenes inside warehouses without much setup involved, and they threw around a lot of cheap-looking props that were there so they could tell a joke. The locations they visit are all normal city spots with a bit of set work, and the costumes are everyday wear. The action did have some funny moments in it, and there were a few good visual gags, but generally the film didn't have much in the way of standout moments. Sound-wise, the music is trying its heart out, but doesn't make much headway. They have instrumental tracks and a few original songs for the action sequences. The original songs bring a ton of energy to the scenery and are highly entertaining. The Ninja Turtles theme playing was even a great character moment and callback. The instrumentals back the emotional beats and the tense moments and do a good job. They're just backing a bad story and weak acting. Okay, now to address the film's real problem. The writing is bad. They start off with a strong premise and even write a few funny jokes into the first few fights, but they run out of things to do with it quickly. After the opener, it's just more of the same for 40 minutes until they finally take a breather to introduce the world's most obvious backstabber. They manufacture a conflict to bring some tension back into the story, and it feels like dollar store writing. They don't explain anything about the lottery, they don't develop either of the characters in any way, they forget about a key plot point, and there's not much reason to keep watching if you don't enjoy the comedy. Even the ending is some Deus Ex Machina bullshit. They had so many outs that I would have accepted, but that one wasn't even close to one of them. I said earlier that Awkwafina struggled as the main character, and part of that is because she doesn't do emotion well. When she's doing her monologues, she tries to put emotion into them, but she doesn't have enough charisma to pull them off. She could tell me the worst sob story in the world, and I think my first thought after would always be about how annoying her voice is. Maybe I am a bad person, but maybe she's also not great at emoting. They also didn't write a great character for her. Katie is a highly cynical person who bends over backwards while complaining about it. Basically, she's annoying and treats the one person trying to help her badly. It's hard to sympathize with her, and it's really hard to care about her story. Personally, I was entertained for the first 30 minutes or so, but after that the film just got progressively worse until I was just trying to grit my teeth through it. I didn't care about the characters, I only laughed a little, and I'll likely forget everything about this film by tomorrow. I'd pass on this one honestly. You could probably watch a clip of the opener and be satisfied. Sean William Scott did a good job. As for a rating, I'd give this film a 4 out of 10. Remember, these are just my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye-bye.